Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I wanted to start off this video with something that just totally caught me by surprise today. This was a tweet. The tweet that you're looking at, this is from the Rippler at the Rippler I am. Now, he's making a totally different point than what I'm about to talk about. He's making some point about I think he's making a point about Ripple selling their XRP or something, but that's not what I wanted to show you. He's tweeting out an old tweet from David Schwartz, and it's from a thread back in 2017. This is from David Schwartz's tweet is from December 9th, 2017. And I immediately recognized something in this that I think you'll find fascinating. The tweet starts out, my backdash of the envelope math with unrealistic worst case assumptions. But anyway, the tweet itself doesn't mean anything. This phrase right here, back of the envelope, jumped off this page at me, and I'll show you why. I remember back in November 2018, November 9th, I went over this article with you just because I thought that it was pretty darn interesting. Let me get rid of this. I thought this article was interesting. And it was an article that they wrote about Satoshi Nakamoto and how they thought that Satoshi Nakamoto was Gavin Andreessen. And they went through a lot of the things that Gavin Andreessen had said in his writings, as well as the fact that same phraseology had been used by Satoshi Nakamoto, and they went through and showed a bunch of his different things that he had written. Like this is from 2010. Whoever created Bitcoin had written this, my back of the envelope projection, and always had the dashes in there like that. And then here's another one with the Bitcoin creator, where he had written in 2010 a rough back of the envelope example, and in every instance he uses the dashes. And then they went and showed some of Gavin Andreessen's writings himself, and back of the envelope, and you keep seeing this. Well, here's a back of the envelope from Gavin Andreessen, and they were making the point, this little thing here is something that had to be Gavin Andreessen. Well, so I thought it was a very interesting article. And then to see that there's also been a lot of people who think that David Schwartz is Satoshi Nakamoto, and to see that same phraseology in a tweet from David Schwartz kind of jumped out at me after having read this article, and I thought it was interesting enough to pass along. Well, next, let's go to something totally different. There's a few tweets that, we had, as you know, we've had a good run up the last couple of days. Today, we're having a pullback. For those of you that are new to these markets, this is very normal. A lot of times we'll have explosions, and then you'll have, nothing goes up in a total straight line. You'll have some profit taking, and then it'll come back. Who knows how this thing plays out? What I do know is the long term, medium to long term, that's what I do know. I don't know what happens today or tomorrow, but the long term I'm pretty confident in, very confident in. But there's some interesting tweets around all this. The first is this from the Crypto King, at JB the Crypto King. 21 million, and I've made this point before, and he lays it out pretty well. 21 million total Bitcoin. 25% likely lost forever because the private keys are lost. 2,200 world billionaires. Combined wealth, $10 trillion. If every billionaire pivoted 10% of their wealth to crypto, the overall total market cap would pull a minimum of 5 times, not a matter of if, but when. Totally agree. That's a pretty well written tweet there. Okay, and I like this one too. This is from Thomas Schultz. Players that have come piling in: Fidelity, Harvard, Yale, Facebook, JP Morgan, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ. The internet race is over. The digital money race has begun. I agree. And then there was this from Crypto Bitlord, who I think has been on fire lately. He says, consider this. This is the very start of the major cryptocurrency bull run we have always imagined. I'm talking Wall Street, bankers, institutions, normies, governments, all FOMOing at once. Folks, we are so damn early. You need to understand that even $100 investment can change your life in the long term. The question is, are you going to put it in the right places, and could you hold? Exactly. Could you hold? Okay. Next, and this is from Max Kaiser, and he makes a very good point as well. Economists Nouriel Roubini, Paul Krugman, Francis Coppola, bankers Jamie Dimon, Mario Draghi, Carstens, academics and media types threw everything they had at Bitcoin, and it laughed them off. Now it's poised to make new all-time high, and they are silent. Governments are rightfully worried. You're darn right. Okay, I went over this yesterday and told you that I had done well with this, and I wanted to point it out again for those just to reiterate it for those of you that are interested in this. The Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, it is a way that you, through a lot of your IRAs, are able to buy into this. The symbol is GBTC, and it has been performing extremely well for me over the last 3 or 4 months. And my investment is almost doubled, but I believe that there is so much more upside to where this thing is going to go over the next year, 2 years, that it's a no-brainer to me for my IRA, and I've put my money into it. So something I wanted to make sure you were all aware of. Okay, now here's an interesting tweet. This came out of nowhere, and I don't know. I checked. Now, if you look at this person, Bit Giveaways, they've got 13.3 thousand followers. You don't get that many followers unless you say a lot of good things or say a lot of smart things. So this person out of nowhere says, and this was done today, Bitcoin first ETF is going to be approved tomorrow. Who else is excited? I have no idea where this came from or what this is about, folks. If this person is right, it's worth owning a little bit of Bitcoin just in case this person is not completely full of it. They probably are, but if they're not, and you owned a Bitcoin when they announced this, it is on like Donkey Kong, folks. Okay. Next, this is an awesome thing too. At crypto_Reen, if you look at the volume, you can assume that the bull market in 12/17 will look like a joke. I've said this for a long time too. This is the volume from when we went through that last bull run. Now keep in mind, now we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 to 20 times more ways for people to invest in crypto now. We have at least 5 to 20 times more. There are 5 to 20 times more exchanges that have XRP on them today than there were in the last bull run. When the FOMO really, for those of you that don't know what that is, fear of missing out. When the news reels really start coming and that fear of missing out comes in, this right here that happened, I guess, yesterday, should show you all you need to know about what's going to happen when everybody finally really piles in. Okay, I saw this from Shane G. Now, this is an older video, but it's worth you going and looking at. 2017, this is at Shane G XRP. 2017 Swell. Brad is nervous answering these questions. NDA. He's known since 2017 all the relationships we are seeing come to fruition. And this is a YouTube video that you can find on Ripple's YouTube channel. Swell by Ripple, Brad answers questions. Now this guy is asking him all the right questions, and Brad is answering some and not answering some but he looks pretty uncomfortable. But they're talking about companies like American Express and whether Ripple's partnered with them. Really interesting, especially for those of you that are new to this. Okay, next I got this from X-Men XRP at XRP33, and he sent me this article. ErisX's spot market, more institutional participation and regulatory oversight coming to crypto. Now, this article was trying to make a different point than what I wanted to get out of this article. What I wanted to show you out of this article, especially those of you that have not ever heard this, this is Steve Quirk, Executive Vice President of Trading and Education at TD Ameritrade. Now, all we've heard, folks, is that institutional investment is coming into this space. But what I've said all along is that those guys have been buying over the counter in 2018 and 2019. Getting ready for what they really want to run all this up, which is the retail investors from all of these brokerages. So this guy from TD Ameritrade, he says, our retail clients are seeking to access and trade digital currency products in the same way they do with traditional capital markets, through a legitimate, regulated, and transparent exchange. That's precisely why we chose to invest in ErisX, to make digital currency products more accessible to retail clients. They have 11 million clients, folks. That'd be like Coinbase opening up just like that with that many customers. Okay, and next from XRP Crypto Wolf, Binance came out and gave an update. They will fully resume withdrawals and deposits by this Tuesday. The exact time has not been specified yet, but they will notify us tomorrow. Thank you, CZ Binance, for all the transparency and how you handled this entire situation. Professionalism at its finest. And then C3 Nick weighed in and got a quote from that report from Binance. We aim to fully resume deposits and withdrawals on Tuesday. The time will be communicated at a later stage, depending on how the testing goes. This upgrade will require a trading halt. We will update you again tomorrow. Now, folks, I'm a big fan of Binance, and I think CZ Binance has handled this 100% correctly. But you still need to have your digital assets stored on a Ledger Nano S or a hard wallet like it. This is the safest way to store your digital assets. These Ledger Nano S's, you can get these I've got a link to get one of these in the description of all of my videos. You can get the Nano S now for $59. They also have a deal where you can buy a Ledger Nano X and a Nano S for a deal. The X is the one that's got the Bluetooth capabilities, but you can get them both for $149, one of each. And then, so anyway, that's the deal. But that is the safest way to store your digital assets. That's how I do it, and I highly recommend it because these exchanges. Just look at the example of Binance. Binance, which is a very reputable exchange, which I have digital assets on Binance. But here's the deal. Yesterday, this thing ran up like crazy. What if your digital assets were on Binance and yesterday you wanted to put some profits in your pocket as a result of that run up? You could not do it because they were on that exchange, and you may have been able to buy or sell, but you couldn't get your money. Because you can't withdraw it right now, and you can't deposit. I would like to be able to deposit right now and do a transaction, but I can't. Get a Ledger Nano S. Okay, finally, I wanted to show you these little two things before I leave you. Moonwalker sent me this, or didn't send me. I just saw this on Twitter. Sunday brunch. Thank you, Mark. This is in West Palm Beach, is what I think I read. Yeah, the Fountains downtown West Palm Beach. Smart Crypto Cafe. If you don't think adoption is here, folks, the Smart Crypto Cafe is there in West Palm Beach. And you can see the little We Accept Bitcoin sticker there. And then finally, Ripple Red at Blockchain 79. Next stop, Liechtenstein. Looks like she's having a glass of champagne on her back patio. I think she said that was her garden. Pretty cool. Looks relaxing. It makes me want to have a glass of wine. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that hopefully we will soon be in Liechtenstein. Thank you for listening.